working? Oh, I gotta see if this has audio. Excellent, it does. All right, cool. So I'm a total noob to this whole live streaming thing. So I basically completed all of Drawabox. Well, as in I've demonstrated everything in the videos of all the lesson stuff, but I haven't completed the 100 treasure chest challenge yet. So what I'm going to be doing, because I'm running out of ideas of what content to create, I'm going to do live streams of me actually completing this challenge. I guess it'll just be every week, and it's also a good motivator to hold me accountable to actually do this. And it's pretty cool because it's actually pretty easy to live stream. I didn't realize it, but yeah. So let's start doing some treasure chests here. Yeah, got it. Yeah. All right. Cool beans. There. Let's get the stuff, and I think. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna need some weapons. So let me see here. I have a few in here already. These. So okay, so I got. So I've already done. Let's see. 1, 2. This is the first 2 treasure chests I've done. And there's a third one. I think it's you do one basic treasure chest and you do a little more detail, or you do another treasure chest that's open, then you do a third one that's detailed, and you repeat that cycle until you get to 100. Or I could actually look up the whole Drawabox website page thing to actually confirm what I'm talking about, so I can hopefully know what I'm talking about. Yes, like I said, do a closed chest, open chest, and then 2 detailed chests. Okay. So, cool beans, cool beans. Yeah, so, right. So I got, what was that? So I did this one, so I did 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a little more detailed, 8, which is more detailed, 9, which is basic, 10, which is open, 11, which should be detailed. Sounds pretty cool, if I do say so myself. There's 12, detailed, 13, which is not detailed, 14, which is just open, and then the next one is a detailed one, so that's gonna be cool. No sarcasm, whatever. Whatsoever, my dude. Alrighty. Alrighty, spaghetti. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm getting a reference someplace of a treasure chest. How about this one looks crazy. I don't want to do that one. Oh, this one looks awful. Let's do this one. I'll just yeah. And I can't really, actually I can, sort of. If I save this image, shoot it on over to my iPad, airdrop. Alright, then just toss it on in here. Whoops. Share. Rather add a photo. That one. So this is my treasure chest. and I'm going to be drawing right here. So I'm just going to turn off magnetic. Throw it up in the corner. Lower the opacity. It looks like a coffin box. It's quite odd. And so this is what, number 15? Yeah, number 15. Okay. So if I can remember how to do this. So start off by drawing a box, obviously. Let's do one that's kind of vanishing point, so great. Someplace up there. And yes, I am using digital tools for this because, if I remember correctly, you're allowed to. Oh wait, no, maybe it's not that you're allowed to, but it's yeah, so right. You're not restricted to a specific set of tools, so I'm just gonna use digital because it's way easier and quicker, and also I don't have like ellipse guides or anything, so yeah, that's my my excuse. Totally valid. I hope. Alright. Then we'll have going up. So this is just a nice square. And we'll cut it up into weird pieces later. That might not be too much. Let's see here. Let's go over a little. Color right there. See how that works. That's still too much. How's that? Oh, there's actually people here. Oh, hi. How long have I been drawing? Well, it's about 2018, and but not like super heavily, just kind of like what's the word? Lightly. I've been drawing a little bit every day, like probably about an hour on average, for about 3 years. Are you sure it's legal to? Yeah, it is legal to draw the tablet because on the page it says you are not restricted to a specific set of tools. So I'm using digital tools because it's way more precise. This needs to go over a little more. Let's go with that. So the box is about let's see. It's going to be quite tall because we're including the lid. It's probably about here. Just trying to judge this with my intuition. Alright, so we got this line. It's getting a little confusing here. So that's my bottom. This is my bottom. Whoops. This is my top. This is my bottom. So it's going to go over to here and then this way out. I'll clean this up in a second. A little more probably. As it feels like it goes in too much. It looks okay. Go with that. So there and then there to downwards, which hold on. Something's not right. So that's my corner down here. This goes up. This is my top corner, and this should connect to that. Oops, no. This, what? Oh my gosh, this is so confusing. Hold up. Okay, so this is my bottom corner. Let me make a new layer here. So this is my bottom corner. This goes, I don't know where that is. So this goes all the way up to here. It's one of my best drawings. Within the context of Drawabox, probably the one of the textures that I did for Drawabox. I think it's that log texture I did a while back. Is this the right? Oh, okay. So yeah, that is the right one. This goes to here. Whoops. Now let me just. So this should connect to that corner there, I think. Perspective's a little whack there. So let's go ahead and fix that. So I know this is my back corner. So it's going to go from here off to somewhere. And I know this is my top corner, but I know my perspective's off a little bit. Let's define this corner down here. So if this goes out to there. I think that's right there. That's right there. I think. And so this must be the corner there. Clearly, it must be. What else could it be? I just talked to myself. Okay, so these are my corners. Whoops. So then this corner here must connect to that one. And this must connect to that one. Again, the perspective is a little bit off. So I can either fix that now or leave it. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and try and fix it. Might as well. It's good practice. So I will do that. So this just needs to go that way, so that tells me that it's these, that tells me it's, so this line here is off up there. So in order to bring that over, I need to take this line and bring it that way a little bit to make it more consistent. So this needs to go, I can just cheat here, use my digital tools. Just gonna twist it a little bit. Let's do this. Alright, so that tells me this corner is over too much, so in order to fix that, oops. So that tells me this needs to come, fix. What does fix mean? Come up here, drag that over, which may in turn mess up this perspective, so perhaps doing all this wasn't a good idea. Oh gosh, yeah, okay, so if I move that, then I'll have to move this, and that should be the end of it, so pop that over. And so which makes this one off. Oh wait, no. This is gonna make everything worse. This is a terrible idea. Wait, maybe if, oh here we go. Now I just need to bring this one over. Wait, no, wrong. Bring it up to there. Except that's still broken, but we can't see that side, so it's okay. We're just gonna pretend it's okay, because this line here is not gonna be visible in the final image, so we're just gonna pretend that that it is okay. We'll just go ahead and, yeah. Actually, it might work if we just twist it. Yeah, we'll just delete it actually. Just go from here to there. Alright. So now we got our basic shape. Let's clean this up a little more. Let's fade these lines out. Now let's define where our top will be. So it looks like our top's going to be about, looking at this, it's like, whoops, if we were to draw a line here on our reference image, doing just really basic, simple, quick grab here. Looks like the lid's about there, and that's like, that's like a little more than a quarter, but not quite a third. So we can just do like between a quarter and a third. So let's go do between a quarter and a third of our box here is where the lid will be. So we can subdivide this if we want to be really precise, or we can be lazy and just guess. And you know me, lazy way is the easy way. So so let's see, about a third, but not quite a quarter. So like, if I were to divide this line like that, it would be a little bit less, probably about right there. That looks too much like a quarter, so we'll go a little bit further down. A little more. There we go. That looks pretty good. Actually, let's shoot it off further so we can get a better reference for how it should look. All right. Alrighty, potatoes. Now we can pull this around the whole box to find our complete thingamabob. About there, I think. That might be a little whack, so we'll fix it in a second if it is. That can go there. And, yeah, this looks a little whack, so hold up. Let's fix that one first. Go this way. That should help define. Okay. Okay. Pull this through that line, and that should be pretty close. Looks pretty close, so go ahead and erase those lines, eh? Actually, it's probably a little bit early to be erasing lines right now. But, you live and learn hard, right? Or live and let learn, or something. I don't know the saying, but it is a saying. Can't you like make your canvas bigger so you can see the vanishing points? Yes, I could make the I could make the canvas bigger, I suppose, but it's within Procreate, which is what I'm using here. It's kind of difficult to like. It's just not the most ideal experience to have your vanishing points off someplace, and then, at least in my experience, it's not really the best way. That I don't enjoy doing it that way. Plus, it's good to practice finding the vanishing points intuitively without like using precision. It's not bad either way, but that's just for the way I like to do it. It's quicker this way a little bit, so that's just what I do. But yes, you could make your canvas bigger so you can see the vanishing points, and it would be very accurate if that's the way you wanted to do it. Which actually, I could have just made my foundation box that way and then expanded it out later once we hit the details, and that probably would be a really good idea. So maybe I'll do that one next. Thanks for the good idea, Mr. Jameed Hampton. All right, so now we got that. It's been a while since I've done this, so let's see here. Let's see. So you take this. Whoops. Let's get this out a second. Scoop this up. So then you take this. You make an ellipse around it. Whoops. And that's how you find out how much your box can open. Okay. All right. That shouldn't be too difficult to remember, right? Famous last words. So I know this is my box, or I know this is where my pivot point is. I know this is the total length of where my, lid can potentially open, because that's where the hinge is right there. So we just need to draw an ellipse in perfect spaces. I'm going to actually make this smaller because I'm having a hard time. Whoops. Just these. Make these smaller so I can actually draw a full-size ellipse in here. Or rather cheat a full-size ellipse with digital tools. So, be something like, oh, it's really bad. Alright, so I know my center of my ellipse is on this thing here, the pivot point. Now I'm just trying to make an ellipse that fits into the space. It's basically a perfect circle in space, or something like that. Let's see here. This is the part of the challenge that like always confuses me so bad, and I'm just like dying in confusion. So if that's the center, not closer, at least be bigger. It's a little wobbly, so we'll go ahead and do this. Let's see, is that pretty close to the center? Feels like it needs to go down more. It's too wide. Square that up a little. No, it's not wide enough. That's again too wide. But it has to be wide enough to fit within this space. See, this is where it's just like kind of this weird guessing game, because I don't really know of a better way to do this. At least from what I've seen on Uncomfortable demonstrating this. It's really confusing. I think it's going to be somewhere around like this, a little further out, like that. Sometimes it helps to get a smaller view. Alright, looks like it needs to go down a little. No, not shrink. Alright. So we're gonna roll with that. It looks like it's a little too wide, but that's okay. Alright. So we got this side, or we got this pivot point. Now we need to find this pivot point. So I'm actually going to do it on a new layer just because I often make mistakes and screw up the whole thing. So to avoid that, and since I know that my center of ellipse will be along this line here, it might help to draw it out. Cheat it out. Oh, and another thing before I do this, actually, you can drag your, because you're just drawing a cylinder in 3D space here that goes to your vanishing point up there. So this is one tip I've kind of discovered. I may have discovered it. I don't remember if Drawabox myself said this, but if you draw out this to go to the other vanishing, or to your vanishing point, if you draw the size of the cylinder, then it can help a little bit with defining where the next ellipse will go. So that feels a little whack for some reason. I think it's this line. Yeah, maybe it's just because it's not a real ellipse. That's okay. We'll roll with it. All right, so I know my ellipse is going to be, whoops, I know my ellipse is going to be within these two lines, but also that its center is right there. But it also has to touch that point because it's pivoting and opening it. And as you can tell, I can just make it a little bit easier to judge where your ellipse needs to be. Well, I hope so anyway. That looks a little, again, a little whack. But it'll have to do, because we got, let's see, like another 86 chests to draw, including this one, so I'm not going to fret too much about this. Alright, so these, that's how I know my pivoting points. So now I can draw my thingamabob. So I'm going to draw this top part of the box here, this whole top of the chest. It's going to be opening to a certain level, and this is my pivoting axis, and it's a little bit off. I think I made it too wide, which you can kind of tell intuitively it's a little wide. I should have made it bigger or taller. But I think it's close enough that we can roll with it. We can just kind of guess to make these things out a little bit if it's a problem. But so let's go ahead and pivot this. So I know the bottom's going to be along this line. How much do we want to open? Let's open it like all the way. It might be kind of cool if it's open like crazy far. Yeah, let's go ahead and open it to right there. And now I can drag this across and find my other point relatively. So it'll be like somewhere in this spot on the other side, I hope. So I think it's gonna be like right there. So that's, and that actually looks okay. Yeah, within perspective, this plane in relation to all these look it looks pretty decent. So now we need to re-add this thickness here that we over here, because we only took this bottom plane and opened it up. And this is where you can kind of make things a little whack. So let's see if it's going to be in 90 degrees. Like that's not 90, that's too much. So go like about, does that look right? A little more, a little less. That's definitely too much. That's definitely too much the other way. And around here looks too much, too much. Right about there probably. And here, it's going to the same vanishing point, wherever that is. It's not this one, I don't think, but it might align with it pretty well. Looks like about, that's all right. Now I'm just going to try to estimate however much space that is. Looks good. Why, thank you. So let's see this box here. Don't mind that, just me, boss. Let's see here. Does that look okay? Maybe pull it down a little more. Yeah, I think that's okay. But for thickness wise, is that too much, too little? Definitely too much, definitely too little. So right about, right in there feels good. We'll go with that. This is going to fall out through, because you will see the back part of it a little bit. All right, so, whoops. All right, so now we have an open treasure chest. That's a little whack, but that's okay. So next is to add the details. So first, the first things first, let's clean this up a little bit. Fade it out a little. Fade that out. That's good. And I'll go ahead and merge all this stuff because it's just construction. Group it and then merge. Is it flatten? Yeah, real hard. So now we go to here. And we can now take this box and taper it off, just like in the reference here is tapered both directions. So to taper it both directions, we really only have to taper, let's see here, we have to taper this side, or we have to taper this plane, and potentially this plane, because that's going to affect how it's going to connect there. So first, let's go ahead and subdivide this. Oops. So we can get a precise measurement. Let's find that center. Something like that. Alrighty. So we got our center point. Now we can take, I don't know why I did that yet. Probably because I need it. I know. Alright, so reference here. Tapers in, let's see, probably about like, we'll go like with that match. So we'll say right about here. Alright, so if it tapers there, we need to find that point over here on this side. So to do that, we'll just pull through, find the exact center. It's right about there, go down. And right about there feels kind of good. So we'll go with that, I guess. Actually, no, it feels like it needs to go that way. Right there, just don't do drugs. Okay. Need to find a way to turn off this notification so they don't keep interrupting me and distracting me. Sorry, so we got our point here and our point there. And to taper that, we're just gonna take this up to that, because we know our corners are consistent, because in the reference image the top corner is not tapered compared to the bottom. So we got our taper there. Now we need a taper on this plane. So we'll just repeat the process. Feels about right. That looks a little bit off. Let's go ahead and redo that. So right about there-ish. Look, see this, because I'm going off these adjacent lines here and here. So according to those, it needs to be about there. So we'll go with that. And, all right, so we got that center one. So now, how will we find, might have to make an estimate here of that. I know there's a way to precisely get it, but I don't exactly remember or really know how to get this precise measurement on this plane here. I don't remember if there is a way that I was learned how to do that. So we'll say right about here, I guess. It might be a little too much. Right there. A little more right there. That looks all right. All right, so we'll stick with that. We'll pull it to the middle. Just right about there. Pull that down. So we got our shape right there. You know, it tapers from there to there, from there to there. All right, so now to find where these 2 points intersect, to find where that bottom corner is going to end up, we can just pull this line through up to there, to that vanishing point. Pull this one to that vanishing point. And that's where they intersect, so our line is right there. So this is going to go down to that, whoops, to that, like that. And then that's how we have our taper. On that side. And let's fit this one over here. I guess we have to find the taper on this side. We'll have to guess it. Wait, no, it's just right there, so it goes to here. Find the taper right here. So our taper's right to there. And for this one, goes to there. Let's pull that one through. Quite simple, really. Just here. All right. Now let's clean this up a little bit. So we know where it goes there. All right, so now we have our tapered box on this point, or on this, on the base of it anyway. Now we just need to get the lid now. So to get the lid, we'll just basically repeat the same stuff we did over here and find a taper that goes that way. Whoops, there. All right, and we'll just kind of, let's see. It tapers a lot more at the top, okay, according to our reference here, than it does at the bottom. So it's probably going to be something like, not that quite that much. Actually, let's see here. Might be quite a bit more. So it's not going to be like that, but like, yeah, I feel like something like that's probably pretty good. So the taper line's right there. We'll just divide this to find where exactly. So we got those 2 lines as references to find where this vanishing point is. All right. Pull that through the middle. Go right there. All right, so now we got our 2 lines in precise detail. Well, assuming that I did it correctly. From there to there. So this back corner no longer will be visible, so it doesn't really matter anymore. That one was a lot more simpler than the other one because there's less visible. So we can go to that. Let's hold on a second. All right. So we got that basic shape now. Let's go ahead and clean that side up. So now if we just look at just our lines, we got our box in very solid pieces. So now I'm just going to lower the opacity. I'm going to carve out this so we have like a middle here, and also carve out some of that so we got a concave thing. So, and also I might actually, yeah, we'll just do the carve out first, and then we'll add on like the metal pieces, which will make it extend out a little bit. Or actually, we could just cut into it a little more. That'd actually probably be the easier thing to do. So if we look at this, looks like the chain sticks out a little bit there, so we're gonna have to, Yeah, let's just go ahead and cut out some pieces here. Whoops. Make this a concave treasure chest so it's actually useful, not just a big block of wood. Alright, so that looks decent. We can just follow this line right here to find where that's bottom piece is going to be. Actually, hold on a second. So I know our bottom plane's right there. So that means this is going to come in this way. And that's if it's completely flat, so I want to actually raise that up so there's some thickness to the bottom of this chest. Oops. So raise it up to like, I don't know, that much. Good enough. It's a little bit off. So I really want to fix that, so. Alright, so now we can see the inside corner. Now let's get this piece cut out. That was really bad. I need to work on my shoulder control. Alright, so that is, oof, now we gotta find out where these go. Well, I guess we should have found where the other one tapered because, or we can try to fudge it, but it's not going to be the best option. But if we would have found out where the other one tapered, we could have easily found out where this would have intersected. Actually, we might be able to still. Actually, yeah, we can. So we take this. Gosh dang it, did I really not? Of course I didn't. So I need to find the back part of this, so I just take this over. there's my corner, pull that that way. Now I know that these two intersecting points are where my thing tapered. Cool, all right. So now I can take this, say, whoops, wrong layer. But again, because that's the outside edge, I want to give it a little thickness. And yeah, it's a really tiny, unnoticeable detail in that, but it's a good habit to show that volume. In whatever way possible, to be as convincing as possible. Oops. Just clear this line work out. Okay. That looks kind of weird, but that's okay. All right, so it is getting a little bit late right now, and I'm just figuring out how to do all this live streaming stuff. So I think I'll end it right here. So yeah, this is cool. Looking forward to doing more of this. Because it actually motivates me to draw this stuff. So cool beans. Well, thanks for hanging out, Jameed and Water Bottle, or if you're still, guys are still there, whatever. Thanks for hanging out. I'll plan to be doing this every week unless I have a video topic. So just a good way to keep me relatively active, both on my channel and in drawing. So thanks. I'll see you next week, I guess. Yeah. Bye. Yeah, I want to end it.